Tonight, the Marlins will play a baseball game. Just 36 hours from learning that they had lost their ace. Gordon comes to the plate, and Gordon looks like he's going to take this first pitch from the right-hand batter's box. Gordon to right, it's deep, and it's gone! D. Gordon has hit it out, and the Marlins have a 1-0 lead. The most difficult night in Marlins history. Miami finds a way to beat the Mets. From the raw emotions that we saw to begin the night, to the goosebumps on the D. Gordon home run.
Man, I told the boys, if y'all don't believe in God, y'all might as well start. You know, we had some help.
The Marlins playing in their first game as they grieve Jose Fernandez's loss, and D. Gordon hit his first home run of the season. This is Bases Loaded. I'm Layla Rahimi, and thank you for joining me for another 30 minutes of nothing but baseball as we get you ready for first pitch between the Cubs and the Pirates. And we talk about a Cubs team who's won 100 games for the first time in 81 years. Plus, Jason Benetti joins us from the South Side, but we do begin in Pittsburgh. Let's go to PNC Park, and that is where we find Len Casper in that gorgeous broadcast booth with a great view behind him. Len, those in the game talk about baseball magic all the time. Another example was last night. You were with the Marlins before you came to the Cubs, and D. Gordon isn't known for hitting home runs, but he said that one was because of Fernandez. It was gut-wrenching to watch him after he got to home plate. What did you think of the Marlins' tribute to Fernandez and how they were able to handle everything last night?
You're right, Layla. It certainly felt like divine intervention. It had to be a very difficult couple of days, and I think it'll be difficult all the way through the rest of this week and into next year. And Jose Fernandez will never be forgotten, but I like the gesture of all of his teammates wearing his uniform last night and the fact that they're going to retire his jersey number. He put together a really fine season. If you look at his numbers, certainly Cy Young worthy this season, and if you looked ahead for a kid who was 24 years old, he looked to be possibly on a Hall of Fame track. But everybody talking about Jose Fernandez, it's more about off the field. They loved his competitive nature on the field, but everybody said he was a very generous guy off the field, and it's a big loss for all of baseball, and especially for the Miami Marlins.
I think it's something that will hang over people's hearts for the rest of the season. Now, moving to much happier topics, Len. The Cubs are now 100-game winners, and they did it with authority last night. A 10-run margin over the Pirates. How do you put that into perspective when you see what's happened this season?
It's pretty incredible. I mean, Joe Maddon's been in this game forever, and it's the first time he's been with a 100-win club. The Cubs hadn't done this in, 81 seasons. So for most Cub fans alive today, it's the first time they've ever seen a team have a record like this. And I thought last night was pretty appropriate that it was a 12-2 win, because the blowout win has really kind of been part of this season's story. I think they're now 42-13 in games decided by 5 or more runs. And while you want to win all the games, especially the close ones, the fact that the Cubs have just beaten up on so many teams, especially teams in their own division, it just tells you how dominating a year they've had.
Yeah, it's fun when we can talk about run differential as a tired stat. And we know the big debate was last night, but what about the other decision 2016? Kyle Hendricks or John Lester for the Cy Young vote? I'm asking you, Len. Who would you take?
It's very tight. You could make a very good case for either guy. I think having a sub-2 ERA, as my partner Jim DeShays mentioned last night, could be the tiebreaker, so to speak. They could finish 1-2 in not only ERA, but in the Cy Young voting as well. Max Scherzer has had a very good year. I mentioned Fernandez. So there will be some interesting votes, I think, coming in, but I'm going to go with Kyle Hendricks at this point.
I like it. I like the decision. Len Casper from PNC Park, thanks once again for joining me on another episode of Bases Loaded.
Thanks, Layla.
Fair expectations. I mean, I think we're trying to win a World Series. I didn't come here for a haircut, you know what I mean? We're trying to get it on. I came here for jewelry.
He's ready for jewelry, and John Lackey is back on track. In his last 4 starts, Lackey is 1-1 with a .324 ERA. He's allowed 19 hits in 25 innings of work and has increased his workload with each passing game. Here is Madden's lineup behind Lackey tonight. Dexter Fowler in center leading off. Chris Coughlin in right. Rizzo, Zobrist, Montero, Tommy La Stella over at third base. Javier Baez at short. Mooney Kawasaki at second base. Lackey is pitching, and Chris Coughlin, once thought to be on life support for the postseason roster, is batting .316 with a home run, 2 doubles, and 8 RBI in September. Here's Joe Madden receiving a special congratulations after last night's 100th win of the season.
Hi, Joe. Hi, Clark. Good job winning on 100.
Great to see there, and the Cubs won game number 100 last night for the first time since 1935. And for just the 6th time in franchise history. Of course, they are still counting this one. Anytime you can get the bar graph out, that's usually a good sign.
There goes Frazier. He gets to third. The ball is at the backstop. Stolen base for Frazier.
That stolen base last night was quite a feat for Todd Frazier. He became the third baseman in American League history with 35 home runs and at least 15 stolen bases in a season. Manny Machado went 35 and 15 last year, and Alex Rodriguez was the first. He did it from 2004 all the way to 2008. And now we go to U.S. Cellular Field, and we are joined by Jason Benetti. Jason, it's good to see you. Hey, yeah, from the ballpark. I'm happy you're here. We discussed Todd Frazier and what he's doing at the plate. Jose Abreu continues to also shine in this last couple months of the season. What do you think is the brighter spot for the White Sox lineup, Frazier or Abreu? I know they're also kind of tied together, too.
Well, first I want to know why Casper always gets to go first on things like this. I'm a little bitter about that.
I mean, we can talk about that. That's negotiable.
I mean, look, it's something that I think we should be fair about. No, Frazier and Abreu, I mean, you look at what they've done in terms of power numbers recently. Todd has built on those home run totals that he's had in the past. Got a career high with 39 homers, trying to get to 40. It's likely he'll get there at some point this week. And then Jose Abreu, I mean, you look at his batting average from even just about a month and a half ago, and he was, 250, 260. To push it up to 299 has been thoroughly impressive. And, is it cause and effect that he got to see his son for the first time in a long time? I don't know, but he certainly has been a happier guy since that happened. And it's been really fun to watch. I mean, it's the reason not to panic about somebody who's been extremely consistent over the course of his career.
That's a good point as well. And Jason, you are wrapping up your first year with the White Sox. We've enjoyed watching you. What are your takeaways from working on the broadcast this season?
I feel like it's been about 4 separate seasons, to be honest. I mean, it's kind of drinking from a fire hose in your first season with a team. So, I mean, there was that whole acclimation process. Then they started off so hot at 23-10. And even in the middle, when the team was kind of faltering a little bit and coming back toward 500, you thought, boy, there's still 23-10 in this team. And that was the hope. And now with the playoffs in the rearview mirror and guys playing for numbers and playing for jobs in the future, it's really been an odd season. It's been a fun one, though. I mean, I wouldn't trade Steve Stone for much of anything. I'm sure you could make an offer that I would be willing to trade him for, but it would be difficult. It would be very difficult. It's been great.
I mean, you've got me curious as to what it would be. It's funny. I've heard you bring up a movie quote here and there with Stoney, actually. So I have to ask you, is there a favorite movie quote you have for your play-by-play call, or one maybe you find yourself referring to often? Because Anchorman quotes are usually pretty applicable on this side of things.
Favorite quote to refer to? I don't know. I am a big Mel Brooks fan, and I've been on an even bigger Mel Brooks kick recently with the death of Gene Wilder. And there are very quotable Mel Brooks lines all over the place, some of which I can't repeat to you on this television program.
I will take that under advisement. But either way, Jason Benetti, it's always nice to see your influences, hear your calls, and congratulations so far. As a very fun season that has been fun to watch. Thank you for the time on Bases Loaded.
Thank you, Layla. Always happy to be Len's silver medalist.
Oh, goodness. We look forward to your call, by the way, at 7 o'clock. No worries about that or anything.
Thank you.
Well, Chris Sale, of course, is on the mound for the Southsiders in his second to last scheduled start of the season. He looks for win number 17 and looks to leapfrog himself in the single-season strikeout franchise leaders list. Say that 3 times fast. Goodness knows I can't always.
3-2. Bryant, deep left center. That'll get it done, and it's gone. RBIs 100 and 101. Home run number 39.
They are rejoicing in the first base dugout. Last year he ended at 99, and this time he breaks through.
That was Chris Bryant getting RBIs number 100 and 101 of the season last night and having to pay off Chris Coughlin in the process. Coughlin reportedly bet Bryant that the leadoff batter would score when Bryant got his 100th of the season, and Coughlin did come to collect, saying after the game, "Don't let him fool you, he's rich." But apparently Bryant and the team are also relieved as well after getting 99 in 2015.
Yeah. We all were, believe me.
Right, I was supposed to ask you.
We named that baby. That 101st star was we got to give it a name. My 100 at least. I mean, it was incredibly difficult for him 2 years in a row. I told him the other day, just sit at 99, man. It gives you something to shoot for next year. 100, that's going to become old news. But yeah, and it'd be a 2-strike home run, hit it that far. We were very happy that Coughlin got into scoring position. Was it wild pitch fastball? Good. And they hoping for a single, you get a home run, so we'll take it.
These are the problems of the Cubs. 99 home run, no 99 RBIs or 100 RBIs. Bryant's increased production from his rookie season can directly be linked to his work on the road. KB has added 70 points to his batting average, 17 home runs, 20 RBI, reduced his strikeout total by nearly 40, and there are still games left to be played. We are just getting started on Bases Loaded. On deck, we look back at Javier Baez's banner night and the memories that he unintentionally brought back into our mind's eyes. And it's a story you need to see and hear. A part-time musical artist / Cubs prospect trying to make it to the big leagues. And we are about, as we take a look at how many minutes we are from Game 2 between the Cubs and the Pirates, 21 and a half away from beautiful PNC Park. Much more on the big game tonight, straight ahead on Bases Loaded.
The 2016 Nissan Rogue. An IIHS top safety pick with intuitive all-wheel drive. Take on any road in Nissan Rogue, Murano, and Pathfinder with intuitive all-wheel drive. Get to your local Nissan store today for 0% financing for up to 72 months or get a low $189 per month lease on Rogue.
In Chicago, some things just go together, like front porches and blue W's, bricks and ivy, Waveland Avenue and souvenirs, Jake and State Farm. Like home and auto insurance with State Farm, they just go together, and they save you time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Pat Hughes reporting from Wrigleyville Sports, where the excitement is building. Devin is getting a new home white jersey customized while he waits. He'll be ready for game action in no time. Ashley is having fun taking selfies in her new Cubs t-shirt. Fits like a glove. Colin is testing out a new bat. Get out the tape measure, long gone. Across the street from Wrigley Field, Wrigleyville Sports is your one-stop shop for everything Cubs. Open 7 days a week or anytime at WrigleyvilleSports.com.
In case you need anything, just give me a call.
P.O. Box 17. Of course I'm a real company.
You got the area code.
Everything your customers see tells a story.
Let the UPS store help you tell the right one. From business cards and banners to expertly packed shipments to mailboxes with a real street address. Come in today for help.
Saturday night, it's a special edition of Beer Money with Anthony Rizzo and David Ross that you don't want to miss.
That's a bonus.
Beer Money, presented by Coors Light, Saturday after Cubs post-game live.
Your Cubs are chasing history, and CSN is complete postseason coverage. Before every playoff game, get ready with Cap and Holly on Cubs pregame live. Then flip back after the final out for clubhouse reaction and more on Cubs postgame live, only on CSN Chicago.
Major League debut for Starlin Castro. Fly ball to right. Bruce going back. Starlin Castro! A 3-run homer. Welcome to the big leagues. 3-2 to Castro. Left center. He's going to knock in at least 2 more. A 3-run triple. What a night for the kid.
Ah, yes. What's up, Starlin Castro? That, of course, was back on May 10th, 2010. Castro debuted with a Major League record 6 runs batted in. So why do we show Castro? One often forgotten about nugget. He drove in those 6 runs out of the 8-hole. And why are we referencing that, you ask? Well, it takes us back to last night. Javier Baez with a grand slam, his second granny of the season and 14th home run on the year. Baez is the first Cub to drive in 6 runs from the 8-hole since, you guessed it, Starlin Castro on his Major League debut against the Reds. There's only one reason we know it, and you know what it is, Chris Kamka. Well, it's not an uncommon story. Ken Griffey Jr. inspires young baseball talent who is currently in the major leagues, and that's the case for Cubs minor leaguer John Williamson. Financially, players do what they can to get by while they're waiting for their big league opportunity. But Williams' side hustle is a little different from what you'd expect, because off the field, he's drawn comparisons to Eminem. Here's our profile of the pre-style Cub. This is John Williamson, relief pitcher for the South Bend Cubs. But if you go to the 23-year-old's Twitter handle @JohnnyBaseball, you will see a very different career.
Like, hold up, I ain't right this independently driven. Yeah, I'm feeling like a Cubby because I'm finna be winning.
I want to be a pitcher for the Cubs, but hopefully I can twist that into a multifaceted career.
Okay, I'm living and learning. They think I'm spinning and earning. I'm trying to make it throwing pitches. That's a hell of a burden.
Baseball came way before music, and so baseball's kind of always been my main goal and main dream. And since being drafted by the Chicago Cubs, definitely the goal is Wrigley.
After 2 seasons as an outfielder at Rice University, the 2014 draft came and went. So Williamson focused all of his efforts on pitching. And on June 10th, day 3 of the 2015 draft, the Houston native's dream came true.
When I got that call and said I was going to be a Chicago Cub, it was the best moment of my life for sure. If I didn't get picked up, I'm not quite sure where I'd be. I don't think it would have been music, because music kind of sparked from the opportunity that I got with the Cubs.
Williamson's pro career started immediately, and it got off to a rocky start. When times were tough, Williamson would look to his other career to help relax.
Got shipped out to Eugene, Oregon, and didn't have the best season there. And so then I was looking at, went from kind of a high to a very low place of like, okay, I don't know how much longer I can play baseball. Maybe pitching isn't the route. I would just, freestyle lyrics in the clubhouse, try to stay loose for myself and for my teammates, and just kind of doing it as a joke. And it started as a joke because the joke got me away from the struggles of baseball.
Chi-Town right now is the dream team. 2016 about to get the big ring.
As Williamson's baseball fortunes took a positive turn, the attention on his rap game increased as well.
In spring training, the night that I found out I was coming to South Bend, which was, I guess, a promotion because I was in rookie ball the year before, that night I was just freestyling with a couple of my buddies that are in the Cubs organization, and I ended up just putting it on Twitter kind of as a joke.
Like the baddest dude, Valor on the bases, yeah, we win independent races. That's a Wrigley renovation, like.
When I woke up, my phone had, 500, 600 notification texts, all this stuff, and I'm going, what happened? How did this how did this happen?
Now I'm on my grind, busting lines for the vine, and my mind's got lines like a vine's got wine. I'm feeling like Kobe, 9 times 9, 81 in the garden, that's a prime time line. Yeah.
Williamson finished a strong first full minor league season in South Bend with a 2-1 record and a 2.37 ERA. With 53 strikeouts and 57 innings of work, the matchup lefty and slider specialist is very serious and careful juggling his 2 jobs. Music.
Man, I take that back. I throw a ball for a living. Wrecking beats when I'm sipping and changing lanes like I'm kiffing.
And baseball.
Swing and a miss, and Williamson is dialed in today.
That's what's crazy about baseball. Like, a lot of people just say it's a game, but in terms of my life, there have been so many moments that baseball shifted my entire life and my entire experiences with my family or friends or anybody. It's been definitely a roller coaster. It's been a hard balance between music and baseball. But like I said, baseball is the priority, and the Cubs are my employer, and the Cubs are, you know, my priority. And so I'm trying to help the organization first, and then after that, help myself, whether it be baseball or music. I was so blessed to have the opportunity with the Chicago Cubs. Maybe another organization would limit what I'm doing or limit my freedom of speech or say, hey, maybe after the season, but the Cubs haven't done that. And that's why it's, so many people say this when you're in an organization, but I definitely know that the Cubs was the right organization for me because of the timing, because of where I was in life, where I was in baseball, and ended up being where I was in music at the time.
And Johnny Baseball has grand plans for both fields of play.
Best in the show, like the Cubs, and my swag so fly, like the flag with the dub.
If I had to choose between winning a Grammy or winning the World Series, with the organization I'm in, 100% I'm winning the World Series. And up top we got Lester and Dexter and maybe Jake. Chi-Town 2016, yeah, I'm sorry for the wait. You want to be a part of history, and when the Cubs win it this year, it's going to be more than history. It's going to be, you know, life-changing for millions of people, and I can't even imagine or fathom the city of Chicago after a Cubs World Series. This year is the year. When it happens, it's going to be crazy. Game 7 walk-off, that's the World Series, baby. It's probably going to change the world. This is a free, so you know. And yeah, my name's Swilson. I'm the freestyle pro.
Great stuff. Our 12 days of Cubs coverage continues. Tonight, we examine how the Cubs' outgoing personalities are perfect for social media, where they get to show who they are in more ways than just on the field. Up next, we are going into the vault for some Cubs clinch history with a team and a player going full circle. It is the Cubs and Pirates tonight on CSN. Just under 12 minutes to go. This is Bases Loaded.
When you were 8, you wanted to fly. When you were 13, to be a rock star. At 20, an artist. All these years later, you realize you had it right the first time. The 2016 Q50 from Infiniti. Lease the all-wheel drive Infiniti Q50 2-liter turbo for $319 a month, or finance at 0% APR at your Chicagoland Infiniti retailer.
Did you just see that? That was awesome. We have to try it. Okay. Okay, mine's not working. Maybe you have to bump it. Oh, yeah, do the bump it thing. Right. Okay. Yeah.
You can take money out using the BMO Harris app.
You want to buy a hairless cat? There's a pet store down the street.
Cool.
I think she said BMO Harris app. Yeah, that makes more sense.
When your phone is your debit card, that's the BMO effect. BMO Harris Bank. We're here to help.
How did DirecTV build the first-of-its-kind channel dedicated to fantasy football live on Sunday? They put together a team of in-studio experts with insightful in-game analysis of Sunday's biggest plays as they happen. Plus the latest NFL.com stats, injury news, and storylines that affect your lineups. Stay connected to the source on your favorite device while your team is on the big screen. All in a Sunday's work. Only NFL Sunday Ticket Max gives you the DirecTV Fantasy Zone. Upgrade your Sundays this fall. Channel 704.
Why jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Why not? Chicagoland Skydiving Center was voted the best in the U.S. with a perfect safety record, a one-of-a-kind environment, and round-trip shuttle service from downtown Chicago. Come experience the greatest adventure in the area. Chicagoland Skydiving Center in Rochelle. Visit us at perfectlygoodairplane.com.
My 95-year-old mother developed a deep bed sore in a nursing home. They told me this was normal, but it didn't sound right to me. I immediately called the nursing home lawyers at Pintas and Mullins.
If you or a loved one has suffered from bed sores, sepsis, broken bones, physical or sexual abuse, malnutrition, or choking, call me now and we'll investigate your case.
Pintas and Mullins got my family $800,000 from the insurance company.
You pay us nothing unless we get you a settlement.
Haberman here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the DW crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Find us on social media right now for gorgeous photos and great Wisconsin giveaways. Speaking of free stuff, did you know every month we give away an exciting vacation? This month you can win a prize package to Lake Geneva. Just visit discoverwisconsin.com for details. Saturday mornings at 10 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Double play ball. Second base one. On to first. The Cubs are the champions of the Central. Look at that mob scene on the turf at Wrigley Field.
Well, back on this day in 2003, the Cubs swept a doubleheader against the Pirates and clinched the NL Central in front of a raucous crowd at Wrigley Field. And the Pirates starter in Game 2, that clinching game, was Ryan Vogelsong, who, oh, by the way, is starting for the Pirates tonight. That against John Lackey, right here on Comcast Sportsnet, because the more things change, the more they stay the same. Thanks for watching Bases Loaded here on Comcast Sportsnet. Don't forget, Cap and Holly will have Cubs postgame live immediately following the game. Cubs and Pirates are next from PNC Park on Comcast Sportsnet. And then at 7 o'clock on CSN Plus, Jason Benetti. Happy to see him today. And the White Sox taking on the Tampa Rays.
We started with the class-leading RX. We gave it paddle shifters to help you command the road. A sport mode to help you control the road. And a sport-tuned suspension to help you connect with the road. The Lexus RX F-Sport. This is the RX Elevated. Lease the 2016 RX 350 for $419 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
This beer has conviction. For us, it's Rocky Mountain water or nothing. Coors Banquet. That's how it's done.
If you feel like singing a song and you want other people to sing along, just sing what you feel. Don't let anyone say it's wrong. When there's a light, what light? There's a light, what light? There's a light, white light.
Navigate everything Mother Nature dishes out with Toyota's wide range of SUVs with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. Have a big family? Adventure seeker. Want to go off-roading? Mother Nature is one tough lady. Toyota's all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive SUVs are tougher. Tested, trusted Toyota. Lease a new 2016 RAV4 with zero due at signing and zero first month's payment. Or get 0% APR for 60 months. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Play hard, party hard. That's what I tell my players. When it's time to celebrate, I shop at Binny's Beverage Depot. Binny's is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. And like I coach the guys, if you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
Baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. It is a picture-perfect night here in Pittsburgh, and it's Game 2 of a 4-game set between the Chicago Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Welcome to Cubs baseball here on CSN. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. Cubs with a blowout win to get to number 100 on the season last night.
Yeah, very impressive show put on by the Cubs hitters. Kyle Hendricks pitched for the Cubs last night, so you figure he probably wouldn't need a lot of run support, but boy, did he get it. They really unloaded on the Pirate pitching staff last night. Chris Bryant went deep, now up over 100 RBIs after finishing with but exactly 99 runs driven in last night. Javi Baez had a big night, hit a grand slam, drove in 6. Albert Almora had a 3-hit game. Up and down the lineup, everybody contributing.
And it doesn't seem to matter these days who Joe puts in the lineup, as he is giving a few of his regulars some time off.
Yeah, and it's good to see them step up the way they have responded after a little bit of a lull after clinching. They've now won 6 of 7. Last night, the 10th time this year, they've won by 10 runs or more. 11 different players with a hit. Just a very impressive show put on by that lineup last night.
And to kind of graphically illustrate how dominating a team this has been, that run differential is mighty impressive. Look what they've done against the Pirates, the Reds, and then interleague play.
Yeah, really taking care of business within the division, dominating this Pirates team. They beat up on the Reds. Very good against the American League. Their run differential, a plus 250. That's the 8th best in Major League Baseball since 1950, and a full 100 runs better than the next best team in the National League, the Washington Nationals.
And a battle of veteran right-handers tonight. John Lackey for the Cubs. Ryan Vogelsong will go for the Pirates. So last night, the Cubs get to their 100th win for the first time since 1935. They look for 101, maybe tonight.
It's SUV season from Ford. The best time to get into a new Escape, Edge, or Explorer with features that keep you connected. And with SiriusXM, enjoy 150 channels of commercial-free music, plus sports, entertainment, news, and comedy. That's how you become America's best-selling brand. Now get an Edge or Explorer with 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,750 bonus cash, or lease a 2017 Escape for just $199 a month.
And here we go, folks.
It's your favorite hot dog bun, mustard, and overpriced watered-down beer.
Are you sure you want to eat all that? Because you already weigh more than your team's batting average.
Let's just toast to our anniversary. Oh no, it's corked.
Let's just watch the game. I tweeted all of your friends to come over, but I guess no one showed up, just like at Mobile Phone Park.
That's okay. I invited one of your friends too.
There's a long drive and it's out of here.
Give a real anniversary gift this year. Escape to the Champagne Lodge in Willowbrook, just 25 minutes southwest of Chicago.
It starts with the low Fields price, and then we include all of the Fields amenities at no extra charge.
I'm not overpaying for my vehicles. I'm getting great customer service and great amenities at Fields.
A low price and a whole lot more, like our Fields amenities that include free loaners, free car washes, and our Fields cafes.
It's not about the word free, it's the way they deliver it and what they deliver.
We simply treat people the way we want to be treated. It's a commitment to our customers we made long ago. Fields matters because you matter.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency. Low fares. Nothing to hide.
Welcome back to PNC Park in Pittsburgh. A lovely night here in Pennsylvania. Game 2 of 4. As these two teams wrap up their season series, it has been dominated so far by the Cubs. And let's get into the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. John Lackey's warm-up tosses are done as Ryan Vogelsong will face this Southwest lineup. Fowler, Coughlin, and Rizzo at the top. Zobrist in left, Montero catching and batting 5th. Tommy LaStella is at 3rd. Javier Baez spelling Addison Russell at short. Mooney Kawasaki will get the start at 2nd. He bats 8th ahead of Lackey, the pitcher.
Pirates defensively brought to you by Arby's. Gregory Polanco back in there, but he plays left tonight. Starlin Marte still nursing a back issue. Andrew McCutcheon in center. Matt Joyce will play right field tonight. Gung, Mercer, Rodriguez, Jaso, third to first. Francisco Cervelli is the backstop, and the Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Ryan Vogelsong, 39-year-old right-hander. Missed a bunch of time earlier this year after being hit by a pitch. He's made 12 starts. He's also worked 10 times out of the bullpen. He's 3-6 with a .485, and he has really struggled of late. His last 5 starts, he's 0-3 with an ERA north of 9.
Quinn Walcott will call balls and strikes. Chris Guccione is at first. Brian Gorman, the crew chief, at second. And Mark Carlson is at third. The leadoff man, as always, presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. If Dexter Fowler gets a hit here, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Gong plays in at third, and the first pitch of the night is low for ball 1.
4-pitch mix for Vogelsong. Fastball, cut fastball, curveball, and a changeup. Not going to throw it by you.
There's a strike. 70 degrees as we get started. Beautiful. Swing and a miss.
Well, he just threw it by him.
He did.
Maybe he threw it over him. Point being, he's not a hard thrower. His fastball velocity right around 90 miles per hour on average. 61-74 lifetime with a .448 ERA.
Up and in on Fowler. Back in the lineup after watching his teammates score 12 times on a season high, tying 18 hits last night. The Cubs, as JD mentioned in the open, have hit double digits 10 times this season. Fowler held up 3-2. They've scored at least 12 runs on 7 different occasions.
Flip a coin.
I don't carry change anymore. You keep a couple quarters in your pocket?
Not out of habit. Just sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Fowler not so sure, but looked pretty good on pitch tracks.
Top of the zone, inside part of the plate. Pretty good pitch.
Here's Chris Coughlin, and I'm told now if you don't have a quarter or a nickel to flip, there's an app for that, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Ball 1 to Coughlin. He had a nice night filling in for Fowler in the leadoff spot on Monday. 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 runs. And bounces foul to first.
Yeah, he's had a nice run, batting better than .400 over his last 9 ball games. Squaring up a lot of balls.
Hitting .409 over his last 9 games. And he drives this one into right for a base hit.
Yeah, I don't know what his status is in terms of a postseason roster, but he's certainly making a case.
It doesn't necessarily come down to La Stella, Coughlin, Almora. Those guys are all I guess what you would call bubble guys. LaStella, as Rizzo sends one in deep left, but it will be caught on the track by Polanco. Kept on carrying. Coghlan heads back to first. That's the second out here in the first inning. LaStella brings you the bat off the bench, can handle velocity. Almora brings you defense at all three outfield spots, and Chris Coghlan a little bit of both.
Yeah, and if you'd asked me, beginning of the month what I thought would happen, I would have said for sure Tommy LaStella over Coghlan. But again, just with the amount of at-bats he's getting and the quality of work, and it's a tough call because LaStella is, you're comfortable with him in that late inning situation against a big arm. But Coghlan is the guy who seems to be getting better swings right now, and there's no guarantee that's going to continue. I'm glad I don't have to make the decision, I guess, is my point. I just wouldn't make eye contact with either of them. I don't know. Flip a coin. I go to the flip a coin app.
You are one to avoid conflict. You'd make a great manager. Does this guy know he hasn't made it? No, I'm just avoiding him altogether.
I'm hoping he doesn't ask.
Ben Zobrist at the plate. Coghlan runs. Here's the throw by Cervelli. It is late. Second steal for Chris. And 2-1 on Zobrist. Then 8 out of 13 over his last 4 games. And it's off the plate inside. Well, you have told the story in the past about making was it the Astros roster out of spring training, and you were never told you made it. You were never told you didn't.
Right. I just got on the bus and nobody came and got me, and got on the airplane. Nobody questioned me, so I must be good to go.
Ball 4. It would have been funny if, like 15 years later, somebody from that staff had come up to you and said, "Oh, hey, by the way, that year you made the club, you really didn't.
Yeah.
But we forgot to tell you, and we felt so bad."
At that point, yeah. We didn't want to get in trouble with the union.
And the rest is history. Cubs scored a run in the first last night, and they started to pour it on in the middle innings. Another guy who has saved his best for the end of the season. Montero hitting .333 over his previous 18 games.
Now, these are fun stories, aren't there? Guys that were down and out, having bad years, and you figure, nah, they're not going to be a part of it. And we've seen Coghlan rise up. We've seen Montero perform at a high level for a while now.
Well, and it gets a little bit back to the narrative part of it. Montero has caught a ton. He's got that savvy veteran status. Cervelli took the worst of that foul ball. That one stung. Let's see where it got him.
Well, he didn't have a lot of fun last night back there. Ooh. Watching his pitchers get battered and abused by Cub hitters, and now right from the get-go tonight he gets dinged by that foul tip.
But anyway, all the catching stuff and the leadership and handling the pitching staff, that stuff seems to carry more weight when you're hitting, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it always existed, but It gets brought up a little bit more when you're providing some offense too. You mentioned Vogelsong, 39 years old. Kind of hard to believe. He's been with 2 different major league teams on 2 different occasions. Fouled off. He was a Giant, then a Pirate, then a Giant, then a Pirate. In the middle, he spent some time pitching in Japan and then returned to the States and was quite a story in 2011, his first year in the majors in 5 years. And he was an all-star at age 33.
Yeah, it's not the kind of resume you expect to see the guy still pitching in the major leagues at the age of 39. You know, struggled in the States, went to Japan, really didn't perform all that well there. I was looking at his numbers earlier today from Japan. Came back here, spent a year in AAA in 2010. That makes the all-star team in 11, and you think, well, okay, you know, one-hit wonder, had 1 big year, but he's managed to hang in there and still taking the ball at the big league level. I don't know what the future holds for him. He's had a rough go of it this year. ERA approaching 5.
Runners go on the 3-2, called strike 3 on the outside corner to end the inning. Pirates will come to bat against right-hander John Lackey when we return to Pittsburgh.
We're Southwest, and we have one word for you. Yes. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. Yes to rewards you can actually use. How your life is now. In a world full of no, we're a plane full of yes. That's transparency.
If it rains and it storms, you might lose TV. No shows tonight when there's snow or high winds or even hail. Kiss your shows goodbye.
We actually have Xfinity, so weather isn't a problem.
Don't get left behind with DirecTV. Xfinity gives you reliable TV service, rain or shine. Sign up today or get started with this great offer. Call or go online today.
The Honda Take Home a CRV sales event is here with incredible deals. Loaded with standard features like Pandora compatibility, a multi-angle rear view camera, and plenty of cargo space. It's no wonder the CRV was named Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Buy for 2016. Hurry into the Honda Take Home a CRV sales event and get a great deal today.
Let's check in on the Pirates Southwest starting lineup. Jaso in the leadoff spot once again. They get Polanco back for the first time since Friday. Andrew McCutchen had a 13-game hitting streak come to an end last night. Gongs had a nice month of September. Matt Joyce, known this season more for his pinch hitting than what he's done as a starter. Rodriguez at second, Cervelli behind the plate. Jordy Mercer, the shortstop, and Ryan Vogelsong, the pitcher.
Cubs defensively, and it's brought to you by the good folks at Arby's. Zobrist, Fowler, Coughlin patrol this spacious outfield. La Stella gets a start at third tonight. Javi Baez short. Kawasaki second base. Anthony Rizzo's at first. Miguel Montero is behind the plate, and the Lexus starting pitcher is John Lackey. Picked up win number 10 last time out. 10-8 with a 3.39 ERA now, making his 29th start. Spent some time on the DL with a shoulder strain. And since returning, he's pitched well. He's made 4 starts, 1-1 with a 3.24.
So this looks to be his final outing of the regular season. And assuming he doesn't get any relief innings over the weekend in Cincinnati, it's going to be a couple of weeks before he pitches again, and It'll be in a much different environment in the playoffs.
It'll be a big boy game.
Yeah.
That's what he calls it. Quinn Wolcott looks like he's going to be a strike caller here tonight.
Softly hit to the shortstop Baez. Plenty of time to get Jaso.
Fowler and Montero both rung up on. I thought they were strikes, but they were, on the edges, and saw that called strike to Jaso off the outside corner. So it looks like Quinn Wolcott is hunting strikes back there tonight. Lackey certainly capable of taking advantage of that.
Gregory Polanco on Friday against the Nationals bruised his face, crashed into the left field fence, going after a Bryce Harper double. Missed 3 games and back in the lineup tonight. Takes a strike. Ouch. There's some padding there, but it still hurt.
Reminds me of that old country song, Hello Wall. Probably don't have that one on your playlist.
I heard a new country song last night here on the public address system during batting practice. The chorus went, "Shut up and fish." Swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
That's what a pitcher would say to a hitter.
Lackey with 175 career wins. On the ground, it'll be Baez again. A little bobble, and Polanco's aboard.
Yeah, it looked like a fairly routine play for Baez. I think he had a little difficulty making the transfer from glove to throwing hand. Slides over. He's there in pretty good shape. Addison Russell made a spectacular play out there last night.
So Baez charged with an error, and now former league MVP Andrew McCutchen. Polanco takes off on the first pitch, and he is safe with his 16th stolen base.
It's been a tough year for Miguel Montero throwing wise, but lately he's been throwing much better. This time he had no chance at all. Polanco got a huge jump. Long striding it.
The 0-1 fouled at the plate. I want to send out a happy 50th, the big 5-0 birthday wish to Kurt Morrison. Big part of our Hot Stove Cool Music Chicago group, and an enormous Cub fan. He watches every game. Happy 5-0, Kurt.
It's just a number.
That'll be a fair ball. Montero picks it up, and he gets McCutchen. Polanco did not advance.
That would have led to some early crankiness for John Lackey had that turned into a base hit after the E6. A little nubber. Nice play by Montero.
A little curious why Polanco didn't go.
Probably thought Montero might make a play on him.
Maybe. Gong takes a strike. He hit his 20th home run on Sunday against Washington to become the first Asian-born major league infielder to have a 20-homer campaign in the majors. Inside on a fastball.
Yeah, Big John usually pretty good about establishing inside early in the game. Goes east and west really well with the fastball. Gets swings and misses with his slider. Also features a curveball and a change. But usually very aggressive, throws a lot of first pitch strikes, throws a lot of first pitch fastballs.
Wanted it, didn't get it. 2-1. He was inside. Walcott said, yeah, no. Swing and a miss, 2-2. I might be more concerned about John Lackey of one of his starts if he doesn't complain about the strike zone early.
Right.
That's his MO.
What's wrong with John tonight? He goes out there with an edge, but it doesn't get in the way usually. You know, he kind of feeds him, fuels him. Oh,
and he strikes out Gong, and that'll end the inning. After one from Pittsburgh, scoreless.
Since the beginning, there's been one pioneering light, illuminating the path for others to follow. The distinctive Audi LED technology, designed to see and be seen. This is how an Audi earns its rings. LED technology, found in the Audi Q5. Get an exceptional offer at your local Audi dealer.
It's 8 on Sunday morning.
You like football? Yeah. It's DirecTV NFL Sunday Ticket. I can watch every Sunday Ticket game live on any device.
I'm retired. I just sit here watching nothing. If I were you, I'd work as long as you can.
Get NFL Sunday Ticket only on DirecTV and watch live football anywhere. Switch today and get a $100 reward card.
In Chicago, some things just go together, like front porches and blue W's, bricks and ivy, Waveland Avenue and souvenirs, Jake and State Farm. Like home and auto insurance with State Farm, they just go together, and they save you time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm.
Unforgettable games, undeniable greatness, and unstoppable drama. The 2016 postseason begins October 4th. Go to MLB.com/postseason for full schedule. Well, Dexter called out on that fastball. It was the top of the zone, inside part of the plate. And Montero, a little backdoor cutter, catches the outside edge. Both very patient hitters, guys with good knowledge of the strike zone. We may have to make an adjustment here if Walcott continues to open up that zone.
Fastball low on Tommy La Stella, getting the start at third base and in the 6th spot. Pinch hit, played third late last night, 1 for 1. Walk, double, and a run scored. Pirates are 77 and 79. Their elimination number in the National League wildcard race down to 2. So not looking good. And 6 games to go. They have dropped 16 of their last 20 in this ballpark.
Yeah, and they've been very good to hear. Kind of like the Cardinals. They've been, for the most part, the last few years, been really good in their home ballpark, but not this year. And the Cardinals have been really bad at home. They're the wild card standings, so really not coming into focus. And we talk so much about teams with incentive and they're going to rise up. And no, that's not happening that way.
Jaso on his sister.
Last 10 ball games, the Mets are 5-5. Cardinals are 5-5. Giants are 4-6.
There you go.
And somebody would claim, who wants it more?
Nobody wants it.
Nobody wants it.
Big night for Javi Baez last night. Grand slam, knocked in career best 6 runs.
And that home run came on a 0-2 fastball. Very impressive swing of the bat.
Vogelsong to the plate, and it's high on a cutter. Here's our Xfinity high-speed action.
Real quiet lower body, just rocked into the swing. With a laser to left.
Is that a little Dr. Evil?
Yeah, it was a little, just a little. It was a little, very little Dr. Evil.
Here comes the 3-0. It's a strike. Now 3-2.
Chase ball 4. Well, you can understand him being aggressive there on 3-1.
Baez really upset as he just got drilled. And what would have been ball 4.
This happened the other day in the St. Louis series, in the game against the Cardinals. The ball appeared to hit the knob of the bat. I think this one clearly got him, based on his reaction more than anything else.
So a 1-out base runner, and now it's Munenori Kawasaki playing second.
This Pirate team pitches inside as much as anybody in the game. I don't have evidence to support that. It's just
they hit a lot of guys.
Yeah, and it's watching.
We do
them
have
play.
evidence of that.
Yeah.
That gets by. Baez to second. Big turn, and he'll stop at second.
Aggressive turn, why not? Look for an opportunity to take an extra base.
That hit by pitch was the 66th of the year for the Pirates. They had been tied for the 4th most in baseball. The Reds have hit more batters than anybody, 76. Cubs ranked 9th, 59. Two and 0 on Kawasaki. So Vogelsong has gone 3-0 on the last 2 batters.
You can understand him being a little cautious with Baez, but Kawasaki doesn't hit for power.
Ball 4. Here comes a pitcher, John Lackey.
Vogelsong has had a hard time pitching deep into games. The month of September, he's made 4 starts. The deepest he's gone in any of those games, 4 2/3 innings. 2 starts ago against the Reds. The other 3 exactly 4 innings of work.
You see his work before. He got hit in the face by a pitch. And since, mostly in relief early in the year. And we showed that nasty injury the last time Vogelsong pitched against the Cubs, and we're not going to show it this time because it's hard to watch. He got hit near the left eye by Jordan Lyles back on May 23rd against the Rockies. There's a cow in
random cow sighting.
Baseball uniform. Suffered facial fractures.
Kawasaki.
One and two.
Pirates obviously a disappointing year after being a wild card combatant last year, previous couple seasons. Pitching, a big reason why their ERA a full run higher this year than last. Garrett Cole has missed a bunch of time. Liriano struggled. He was traded to Toronto. Francisco Liriano had been such a big part of it in prior seasons. Jeff Locke has a 5.44 ERA. Cole has made just 21 starts before being shut down.
He's gone full on the pitcher.
So this is his last chance tonight to hit the home run to win the bet against John Lester. That's why he was frustrated about missing that fastball. He fully expected to hit that one into the seats.
Called strike 3. So 3 strikeouts for Vogelsong. They have all been of the backwards K variety. And it'll bring up Fowler, who was caught looking in the first. Fowler had a really nice week last week to wrap up the home portion of the schedule. 9 for 23, 4 walks, 500 on base average, and he wouldn't mind getting to 1,000 career hits before the end of this week. 997 hits going into tonight.
Yeah, he's going to get that. Had that shot of the field there. The Pirates outfield pretty shallow. Polanco normally in right is in left tonight. He's played 20 some ball games over there this year. But Joyce on the pull side is really shallow. If Dexter gets the head out on one, hits one into the gap, it's going to be an easy triple. Two on, 2 out. Second inning.
Another 3-ball count.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Vogelsong, he knows he can't overpower the Cub hitter, so he's, working cautiously, working from behind, hoping they'll expand and chase. Last night, the Cubs took advantage of a couple of Pirate rookies. Chad Kuhl started. He didn't make it out of the 4th, gave up 5 runs. Stephen Brault came in. One of the relievers that worked, he was charged with 7 runs in an inning and 2/3.
They're loaded for Coghlan. So without the benefit of a hit, the Cubs have loaded the bases here in the 2nd. An early trip for Ray Searage. We saw him a lot last night.
He's got a nice matching watch. Check that out. That's accessorizing to the next level there. Who does that?
Cervelli doesn't want us to see it. Hey, Gary Sanchez is homered again. He's hit 20.
And like every time he goes deep, he sets a record, right, for number of home runs in X number of games. He's going to be the Rookie of the Year over there, isn't he?
Yeah, he and Michael Fulmer.
Oh, yeah.
Fulmer could win the ERA title, right? 49th game, 20th home run for Sanchez. That ties the fastest. There's Wally Berger did it as well.
Well, Vogelsong doesn't get it sorted out here. Expect to see some action in the Pirate bullpen. They've got a platoon's worth out there in the bullpen with the September call-ups. You see the Cub base runners. Baez, Kawasaki, Fowler.
51st game. For Sanchez.
But they're in Boston or in New York against Boston tonight?
They are in New York. Yankees lead 2-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. The pitch. Driven out into right center. Way back toward the wall. It's off the wall. Baez scores. Kawasaki is in. Fowler to the plate. Throw to 3rd. Save. A bases clearing triple. First hit of the inning.
You got to pay for your sins. And Vogelsong with 2 walks and a hit batter set things up for Coghlan. He continues to swing that hot bat. We talked about the Pirates outfield being fairly shallow and no chance to cut this ball off as it bangs off the top of the wall. Just misses a grand slam. It doesn't matter where they're playing on that one. Man, single, stolen base, bases clearing triple.
He's got both Cubs hits. He's got all 3 RBIs. Cubs lead 3-0.
That one. He is peaking at the right time.
On Rizzo, hammered foul. Anthony flied to the warning track and left in his first at bat. He came into this game 16 contests against the Pirates this year. .460 batting average, 12 doubles, 6 homers. And here at PNC Park, even after making the out, he's 19 out of 31 on the season. Swing and a miss to end the inning. Well, we like the old cliches, don't we? It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And Chris Coghlan finishing strong this season, 3-0.
Good or better? The Hyundai Sonata versus the Toyota Camry. The Sonata has an available panoramic sunroof. The Camry? No. In the Sonata, available Android Auto. The Camry? No again. And only the Hyundai is backed by America's best warranty. Better is the reason to buy Hyundai.
And this is the reason to buy now. Lease the Sonata for a limited time for only $149 a month. Visit buyhyundai.com.
Hello? This is she.
Is that the doctor?
Okay, wow, really? It's 2? That's great news, thank you.
It's 2?
Yes, it's 2. It's 2 for 1 windows at Feldco.
Feldco is offering 2 windows for the price of 1, with no money down and no interest for 1 year.
2 windows for the price of 1 ends Friday. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Did you just see that?
That was awesome.
We have to try it.
Okay. Okay, mine's not working.
Maybe you have to bump it.
Oh, yeah, do the bump it thing.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
You can take money out using the BMO Harris app.
You want to buy a hairless cat? There's a pet store down the street.
Cool.
I think she said BMO Harris app.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
When your phone is your debit card, that's the BMO effect. BMO Harris Bank. We're here to help.
Welcome back. 12 Days of Cuts continues tonight as CSN gets us ready for the postseason with 12 behind-the-scenes stories on your favorite team. Tonight they look at social media and why it's the perfect outlet to profile the personalities of these Cubs. Tune in to Sportsnet Central tonight after Cubs postgame live. Hashtag Sportsnet Central. Hashtag watch it.
Nothing better than when JD gets caught up in hashtags.
Go down the rabbit hole.
Matt Joyce in the lineup playing right. Cubs have outscored the Pirates 15-2 to start this series. Joyce pulls foul.
Stay down, Susie Cool.
Yes, there's Susie. She came up to the booth before the game last night to introduce herself.
Yeah, because we thought it was really cool that they had a ball girl named Susie Cool.
Ground ball the other way. And it gets by LaStella in the left. So Joyce, who came off the bench and homered last night, 1 for 1 to start this night. Tonight, yeah, they announced that the names of the ball dudes, ball girls, before the game, and you noticed Susie Cool was on the sheet. Was this last year or the year before? But every time we come here, we talk about Susie Cool, and she is an aspiring broadcaster, right?
Yeah, she a graduate student, she was telling us, and last night she was shadowing their on-field reporter.
Ground ball, base hit. Joyce to third. Back-to-back singles to start the second. Sean Rodriguez continues his fine work at the plate here as of late.
We may have witnessed the most optimistic dive for a ball in the history of this fine sport. Watch Kawasaki. Has zero chance of getting that ball, but he's going to leave his feet anyway. He's trying to smother a grenade. Atta baby.
The catcher, Cervelli. Cubs will play at double play depth. In the middle, Rizzo is holding on Rodriguez. Montero blocks it.
No, John Lackey's been a really good pitcher for a long time, and he knows how to work his way around the lineup, and he knows how to manage a game. We talk a lot about how aggressive he is, but now, you know, first and third, nobody out, he's not going to be quite as aggressive. He starts slider off the plate there to Cervelli.
Bounce to short. They'll get one. They will get two. So Cervelli will not get an RBI, but the run counts. It's 3-1.
That's just beautiful pitching. First pitch slider off the plate. Then he goes fastball in on the hands to get that weak ground ball to the left side. Really executes the pitch. Cervelli beats it into the ground, something he does often. And they turn a nice double play out there to clean things up. Even though he got 2 outs, not happy that he gave up the run, but that's clearly the right play.
The shortstop, Mercer. Ball hit hard. Third single of the inning for the Pirates.
Sloppy with that pitch, left it up in the zone. That's an out. You really, after the double play, you just want to finish off that inning, have the pitcher scheduled to lead off the next. Mercer does a nice job in delivering the solid single and at least clearing the pitcher's spot.
Vogelsong fouls away.
Well, for 16 this year for Vogelsong. I guess that gives you an idea of how short many of his starts have been. He's only had 16 at-bats. This is his 13th start. Career, he's a 136 hitter.
Smothered by Kawasaki, and he gets it to Baez in time for the final out. Pirates get a run. It's 3-1 Cubs after 2.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. I'm attorney Howard Ankin with legendary sportscaster Steve Stone.
And I know the right team knows how to win, like Howard Ankin Law Office.
If you or someone you know needs help with an injury case, I'm here to help. Please give me a call.
Put Howard's number in your phone right now, 312-6-million.
Play hard, party hard. That's what I tell my players. When it's time to celebrate, I shop at Binny's Beverage Depot. Binny's is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. And like I coach the guys, if you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
Hey, honey. You remember to lock the Buick, right?
Of course I do. I'll never forget that.
The My Buick app, now available in every Buick.
You closed all the apartment windows, too.
Come on. Really?
You're the best.
It's the Buick 2016 model year sell down. Now get 20% below MSRP on select Encore models in stock. That's nearly $5,600 below MSRP on this Encore.
This is the last place you'd expect us to talk about staying connected with state-of-the-art technology. Or wow you with a massive touchscreen. Then again, you probably didn't think you'd need your survival skills back on the road either. Jeep Cherokee. Conquer all the world's most challenging places. Celebrating 75 years of the most awarded SUV lineup ever. Or get 20% off MSRP cash allowance for an average of $7,600 in savings on select Cherokee Trailhawk models and dealer stock.
Time now for our Coors Banquet Timeless Moment. On this date back in 1935, that's 81 years ago, the Cubs swept a doubleheader against the Cardinals to extend their winning streak to 21 games. And they would become the only team with 100 wins in that 1935 season. And history repeating here in 2016, the Chicago Cubs will be the only 100-win team in all of baseball.
It's quite an accomplishment.
Ben Zobrist.
They beat Dizzy Dean in the first game of that doubleheader. And during that 21-game winning streak, their pitchers allowed more than 3 runs only once.
Wow.
Unlike this year's club. There's a good a bar chart for you. The Cubs, they own the baseball world there in the early days, 1906 through 1910, 100 wins every year.
They've got a chance to get to 105, 106. Change up off the outside corner on Ben, 2-1.
Cubs, the third National League team to win 100 games in the last 11 seasons. Last year's Cardinals did it, and the 2011 Phillies. The song, a little frustrated with that call. But it was down.
Did you know 104 players had now hit 20 or more home runs this season around baseball? That's the most ever.
I saw a note to that effect somewhere earlier today.
He walked him. 2 plate appearances, 2 walks for Zobrist.
Well, we talked about the improved work of Miguel Montero. He's talked about watching some video of Big Papi and influencing his approach at the plate. And you see the similarities. The leg kick, not quite as big as Papi's, and Ortiz got a little more going on with the hands, but similar load, weight back, using the leg kick, and then rocking into the pitch. And you see where his eyes are going? That's probably towards left center. He's done a lot of damage the other way here in this good stretch.
This one toward left, but popped up just back of third. It's Gong to make the catch. So 1 out. Now LaStella. This is looking to be probably another short night for Vogelsong, who's made a lot of pitches, over 60. 4 walks, a hit batter. Driven to left, Polanco. For out number 2. That'll leave it up to Baez, who was hit by a pitch and scored on the Coghlan triple in the second.
A lot of left-handed bats in the lineup for the Cubs tonight, and lefties batting close to 300 against Vogelsong. 294 coming into this one. Right-handed batters 234. So understandable that you would load up with lefties.
Nationals got some terrible news. Their catcher Wilson Ramos has got a torn ACL, so he's done for the season. Steven Strasburg deemed unlikely to be available in the division series, according to their general manager Mike Rizzo.
He hasn't pitched since September 7th, and he's just been doing some throwing off flat ground.
So not the time, if you're a playoff team, you want to see guys get hurt. How about Joaquin Benoit? He had a benches clearing incident with the Yankees.
Yeah, he'd been on a pretty good roll too. Corey Kluber, that injury, the groin stiffness causing him to leave the ball game last night. The latest out of Cleveland is that they don't think it's too serious. But you couldn't blame a Cub fan for thinking that the stars are really aligning. And look at all these teams that stand in the way between the Cubs and their ultimate goal. they've all sustained, or most of them have sustained some pretty significant injuries. Steven Matz having surgery. He's done for the year. All the Mets pitching staff has been a mess. Giants have had their injury problems. Eduardo Nunez, who's actually done a real nice job for them since coming over for the Twins, especially of late. Apparently he's banged up.
Bounce to third. Throw will go to second. They force Zobrist, and the inning is over. Middle of the third from Pittsburgh. Cubs 3, Bucks 1.
We're Southwest, and we have one word for you. Yes. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. Yes to rewards you can actually use. How your life is now. In a world full of no, we're a plane full of yes. That's transparency.
You ever feel like you're spinning? Like you're stuck in the same place in life? Just going round and round and round? Yeah, man. Been there.
No, actually spinning.
Oh, we can fix that by going to Midas. They have a great selection of tires. Sorry, Doug. I thought you were trying to get deep.
Nah.
Trust the Midas Touch. For tires, brakes, oil, everything.
In banking and baseball, you have to stay alert. With my Bank of America mobile banking app, I can select alerts that notify me when unusual activity is detected on my credit and debit cards. I used to play when I was younger. I love the outfield. All that green grass. Until the championship and the inside the park home run. Sure could have used an alert then. I had missed lunch that day.
Briggs is back tonight on CSN. Join former standout linebacker and 7-time Pro Bowler Lance Briggs for his take on the current state of the team, as well as a look ahead. The Lance Briggs Show returns tonight at 11 on CSN.
Welcome back, everybody. Plan your spring travel to Sloan Park in Mesa, Arizona with Cubs destinations. Spring training packages include game tickets, hotel accommodations, rental car, Cubs swag, and a private meet and greet with Cub players. Details available soon at cubs.com/travel.
John Jaso rolls foul. Wide open stance for Jaso. Takes a fastball in. And it's 1-1. Well, who will host that first round series between the Nationals and Dodgers? Dodgers are one behind the Nationals. And check out the season series. Not sure who wins home field if they tie. Dodgers went 5-1. So right now, if you look all around baseball and on our stats page, front page is always the standings. Rizzo will scoop, the spin, the throw, and he gets Jaso.
Yeah.
There is one team currently not in first place. among all 30 teams that does not have an X next to it in the standings. That is Toronto. They're 6 out with 6 to go. So the Red Sox, with their next win, they clinch the American League East. So not a lot of drama with the division races. It's all the wild card. Bunted by Polanco, foul to third.
The wild card situation still very murky.
This is our greater coverage of baseball, and it's brought to you by T-Mobile.
No real surprises on that list, is there? I mean, Boston was the last place club last year, but everybody figured they'd be much better this year.
Caught by Zobrist. 2 outs. So here's the thing. If we just went back to leagues, Cubs would have already clinched the National League. But in the American League, you know, they say adding more playoff teams creates more drama. You'd have the Red Sox a half a game ahead of the Rangers, or a half a game ahead of the Cleveland Indians. You'd have a 3-team race for the American League.
That would be a pennant race. Yeah, that's what the wild card has done. It's been good in many ways. More teams involved, more cities with a rooting interest deep into the season, more possibilities, more revenue. But you do lose that historic winner go home pennant race kind of drama.
Last year, Kansas City finished 2 games ahead of Toronto. St. Louis finished 2 ahead of Pittsburgh in each league. Deep in the hole, Baez, and dug out by Rizzo. So McCutchen hitless in the series, and after 3 in Game 2, it's the Cubs 3 and the Pirates 1.
Combining home and auto can save you big. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
When you were 8, you wanted to fly. When you were 13, to be a rock star. At 20, an artist. All these years later, you realize you had it right the first time. The 2016 Q50 from Infiniti. Lease the all-wheel drive Infiniti Q50 2-liter turbo for $319 a month, or finance at 0% APR at your Chicagoland Infiniti retailer.
Pull up a chair.
Pull up 6 chairs. My $5.99 dining sets come with 6 chairs.
Not the usual 4 you get from the other guys.
Go with the traditional styling of my Woodmark set. All 7 pieces, only $5.99.
The Matrix, transitional panache. 7 pieces, only $5.99.
Or my X Factor, casual pub height, table and 6 chairs. You guessed it, only $5.99.
Need more space? Each table is expandable, big or small.
Untouchable, only at my Bob's Discount Furniture.
Hello?
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Are you serious? Not khakis. What are you wearing?
For fastballs, call me. For saving time and money, call State Farm.
You sound hideous.
Tomorrow night, hockey is back with a bang as the defending champs hit town for a preseason battle with your Hawks. 2 explosive offenses, only 1 channel. Blackhawks versus Penguins, starting at 7:30 on CSN+.
Tomorrow night on CSN+, the Blackhawks return to the ice in their preseason opener with the defending champion Penguins. Don't miss puck drop at 7:30 on CSN+.
In other action tonight, Senators and Sabres are scoreless at the end of 1. There's a strike on Kawasaki. It's Europe and Canada tonight in the World Cup. So it's a country against a continent.
It's kind of like the Ryder Cup.
Right.
Only on ice.
They should have a golf tournament on ice.
Oldesong really likes that backdoor cutter against left-handed hitters.
I'm not saying by asking the question that I necessarily would do this, but because of the playoff setup we currently have, and baseball used to be about the long haul. Win your league, you go right to the World Series. 3-2. Into left, little flare, base hit, Kawasaki. Do you like what the minor leagues do with the first, second half champs? Kind of going back to the strike year of '81. Would that be an intriguing proposal to ever consider?
2 halves as opposed to a wild card?
Yeah, you win. You got to win your division. Then one or the other half. So if you have a terrible first half, you start from scratch after the break. Hard bunt, but it'll work. I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah,
you know,
I hear you.
Different ways to.
It's intriguing. I don't really have a solid opinion on that one.
I'm fine with that. I don't think it'll ever happen, and again, I'm not suggesting it should.
No, I kind of, and you know, it's easy to say with the Cubs having the year they're having, but I do like some way of honoring the team that dominates all year.
That one driven out into deep right center for Dexter Fowler, and right at the base of the wall. Kawasaki will score. It's a double for Fowler, and it's 4-1.
Coughlin just missed driving one out of here in that part of the ballpark, as does Dexter Fowler. Breaking pitch. He back need him. A little hesitation keeps the hands back to adjust to the off-speed pitch. And one hops it off the wall out there. So 2 hits shy of 1,000 now for Dexter.
That brings up Coughlin. Single and a steal in the first and a 3-run triple in the second. Now the benefits of 2 halves would be creating 2 separate playoff races. Maybe there's some sort of benefit in having the overall best record.
Well, yeah, and then obviously if you win both halves, you don't have to. There's no playoff for you. You just move on to the World Series.
Low and in. I guess one downside would be if you win the first half, what incentive do you have in the second half if you don't win the. I mean, you're kind of like waiting for the playoffs potentially for 3 months. It's kind of fun to kick it around.
Yeah. But if you win the second half, then you don't have to play a playoff.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Right.
See, now the 81 strike season you're referring to, the Cincinnati Reds had the best overall record, I think, in baseball, certainly in the National League, but they didn't win either half.
How about that?
Right? It was the Dodgers and the Expos.
And basically, that year you had a division series, that extra round. Now Cervelli will head out to the mound.
Vogelsong and Cervelli trying to figure out an answer for Chris Coughlin tonight. So far they have not had one. Single and a 3-run triple. Here's the triple. Again, trying to throw that backdoor cutter, and that ball got a good chunk of home plate and then caught a chunk of the wall.
All I'm saying is, if we were sitting here in 1950 and I said, why don't we not only add another round to the playoffs, let's have American League and National League teams play each other during the regular season. Let's create another round that's just one game before you even get to the first round, before you get to the championship series. You'd say, you are absolutely nuts.
You're out of your mind, man.
And then, if you don't like a call at first base, we make a phone call to another city to see if they got it right. Two on for Rizzo.
Well, Vogelsong's in a world of trouble here. He's allowed 4 already. You got Rizzo up there with a couple men on. There is action in the Pirate bullpen. We need to pull a little McGruber here.
Why not just the good old-fashioned MacGyver? Because McGruber is more fun?
Yeah, if you conjure McGruber up, it's... Yeah, I guess from Vogelsong's point of view, MacGyver, because things usually didn't end up well for McGruber.
Things would crash and burn. Well, what I do think will happen within the next couple of decades is we'll probably have the DH in both leagues at some point. Not sure when, but
I think they're going to stop playing the game altogether, and it'll just be a video game.
Do computer simulations. There's a rocket that is caught. Little jump by Joyce, and he might have bobbled it, but he held on. Runners retreat. Rizzo 0 for 3, but he's hit 2 right on the button.
Yeah, backed Polanco up first time, took him to the track and left. This time a rocket to right that Joyce is able to haul in. So results not there for Anthony tonight, but very impressive work.
Two walks already for Zobrist, and the pitch. It's a strike.
What do you know about Matt Koch?
Not much.
Pitching a no-hitter through 4 tonight for the Diamondbacks against Washington. Probably a little early to go on no-hitter alert.
Little low. 2-1.
Mets lead the Marlins 4-1 in Miami, top of the fourth. Syndergaard for the Mets tonight. Tom Kohler pitching for the Fish. One moment last night when D. Gordon hit that home run. I didn't realize he had gone up and taken a pitch from the right side of the plate to honor Fernandez.
No, I didn't either. I heard about that after. Pretty cool. Bounding ball to the second baseman, Rodriguez, and that'll end the inning. Cubs add to their lead on the Fowler RBI double. It's 4-1.
This beer is true to its roots. Brewed only in Golden, Colorado, and nowhere else, ever. Coors Banquet. That's how it's done.
Comparing midsize sedans? Here's what puts the Kia Optima ahead of the Nissan Altima. The Kia Optima has an available surround view monitor and turbo engine. The Nissan Altima does not. The 2016 Kia Optima is a KBB.com Best Buy Award winner. The Nissan Altima came up short there, too. Discover the next generation Optima. It's not your average midsize sedan. Hurry in during Kia's fall savings time and lease the Optima LX for $179 a month or get 0% financing.
How do you feel about your commute these days? A little crabby? You can change that pretty easily. Just take Pace and feel happy as a clam. The savings will be a big change too. Travel in a more relaxing Pace.
Closed captioning of Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by U.S. Waterproofing.
A little seepage in your basement is no need to panic. Count on the experts at U.S. Waterproofing to diagnose and repair the problem.
For a free consultation, visit uswaterproofing.com. A better basement starts with us.
Welcome back. Don't miss your chance to watch October baseball from the all-inclusive, unique atmosphere of the rooftops across from Wrigley Field. Limited playoff tickets are available now by calling 773-248-ROOF or by visiting WrigleyRooftops.com. Happy anniversary.
Yeah. Standing too far apart, though. I'll make that banner smaller. John Lackey with a 4-1 lead. Ball one on Jung Ho Gung.
Mentioned John picked up his 10th win last time out. Against the Reds, he went 7 innings, allowed 5 hits, 2 runs. Important because every year he's been healthy and pitched a full season. He's been in double digits in the win column. This is just his second start against the Pirates this year. Got a no decision here back on July 10th. Pitched into the 7th inning, allowed 5 runs on 7 hits.
Well, 3-1 is grounded to Baez at short.
A busy night for Baez. Ringing numbers by Joyce this year. Look past that batting average, high on base, good slugging numbers.
Strike called on Joyce.
13 home runs, 42 driven in. Just 220 at bats.
was an impressive home run he hit last night, wasn't it, off Hector Rondon?
Way out there in left center.
Good numbers for Matt against John Lackey. Right-hander coming back on a 2-1. It's a strike. It's 2-2. Cubs have a chance to have two 200-inning starters. John Lester is 2 1/3 away from 200. Jake Arrieta, that's a little tougher. He's at 192 1/3. So he'd have to go 7 2/3 in his last start to get to 200. And that will be tomorrow night here. Kyle Hendricks probably will end up around 190. Same for John Lackey. Jason Hamill should be in the low 170s. And all five should have an ERA below 4. And one hopefully will have an ERA below 2. Ball 4.
First walk issued by Lackey tonight.
So Kyle leading the way. John Lester behind him, and pretty decent chance the Cubs will have the top 2 in all of baseball in ERA.
Is it Tanaka in the American League? I think he's got a 3-something to lead the AL.
Yeah, and I mentioned Fulmer. A strike on Rodriguez. Tanaka 307. Fulmer is not on the list, but should have enough innings to qualify by the end of the year. He's at 155 2/3. He's got a 295. So as a true rookie, Michael Fulmer has a chance to lead the American League in ERA. That's the other question about Gary Sanchez. As great a start as he's had, he only plays in 56, 57 games. Can he beat out an ERA leader for the Rookie of the Year? I mean, he can, but will he, I guess, is the question. Pulled foul.
Yeah, I would doubt it. I mean, it's been awfully impressive what he has done, but you'd have to honor the season that Fulmer has had.
What a year Kyle Hendricks has had, and this goes back to his start against the Pirates June 19th. Blackie's 1-2. I guess it was a ball.
If Kyle finishes with an ERA below 2, it will be the 4th consecutive year that the National League ERA leader has had a sub-2. Greinke had a 166 last year. The 2 previous seasons, it was Clayton Kershaw. Last time there was a run like that was back in the Maddox Pedro days, mid-90s.
That's a base hit. That's going to send Matt Joyce to third. So this happened last night, and obviously the Cubs blew out the Pirates 12-2, so it didn't matter. But you've talked about catchers picking the bases, and the Cubs do it a fair amount. It was borderline, but this could have been a called strike 3. It's just tough to get the call, as you often mention, when the catcher comes out of his crouch. You see where it was, 4 right on that outside edge.
Quinn Wolcott's had a big zone tonight. You're almost always sacrificing the pitch when you go for the pick.
First and third, it's Cervelli with one out. Big cut and a miss. There are some catchers who will kind of give the home plate umpire a little bit of a warning that he's going to do it. Maybe a little tap on the foot. You have to be very discreet about it, obviously. You don't want the other team to know you're going to do it, but it kind of gives that home plate umpire just a little bit of an alert.
Yeah, stay with me here. Yes. Stay on this pitch. Don't let my quick movement influence you too much.
And probably, worth every once in a while, maybe before a game, reminding a home plate umpire, hey, I like to throw to first, so just hang with me.
Speaking of discreet ways to work with an umpire, there was a catcher years ago who did not like the strike zone of the home plate umpire, and every time he thought the umpire missed a call, he made a tally mark in the dirt next to him. And by the time he got to the diagonal slash, he was gone. He didn't say a word, just kept making the tally marks, and finally the home plate umpire had enough, ran him.
That's beautiful. I love that the catcher did it, and I love that the home plate umpire knew it and threw him out. Two to Cervelli is inside.
Inside is where they went last time to get the ground ball double play from Cervelli. That's it.